The door burst open. Laughter spilled into the penthouse suite, followed by the sharp click of designer heels against marble floors. Champagne glasses clinked. Expensive perfume filled the air. Then the laughter stopped. Ethan Caldwell froze. There, in the center of his king-sized bed, on sheets imported from Italy and pillows embroidered with his initials, was a woman, asleep, a hotel cleaner. Her dark hair was fanned across the white silk. One hand still clutched a cleaning cloth. Her shoes were halfway off, as if she hadn't even meant to lie down fully. She looked small against the vast bed, exhausted, vulnerable. Ethan's fiancée gasped, "Oh my God, what is this?" The hotel manager, who had been smiling moments earlier, went pale.
Oh my God,
"Sir,
no, this can't be
I don't
happening.
understand.
I have to do
This
something
has
right
never
now.
happened before."
This is a nightmare.
The cleaner stirred. Security radios crackled in the hallway. Ethan stepped closer, studying her face. There were dark circles under her eyes. Her breathing was heavy, uneven, like someone who hadn't slept in days. "Wake her up," his fiancée snapped. "This is disgusting." But Ethan didn't move. The cleaner's eyes fluttered open, and the moment she realized where she was, terror swallowed her whole. She shot upright so fast she nearly fell off the bed. "I'm so sorry," she choked, scrambling to her feet. "I didn't mean to. Her voice broke. Her name was Maria Rodriguez, 28 years old, single mother, Bronx resident, invisible to people like the one standing in front of her. The manager stepped forward aggressively. "You're fired, effective immediately." Maria's hands trembled. Please don't do this. I just sat down for a second. I didn't." "You fell asleep in a guest's bed," the manager hissed, "in the penthouse suite. Do you understand how serious this is?" Tears filled her eyes. She nodded. Of course she understood. This suite cost more per night than she earned in 6 months. She had cleaned 18 rooms that day, covered for 2 co-workers who didn't show up, skipped lunch, drank coffee instead of water to stay upright. She hadn't meant to lie down. She had only meant to rest her back. Ethan finally spoke. "How long has she been on shift?" The room went silent. Maria blinked at him, confused. The manager forced a stiff smile. "Standard hours, sir." "That's not what I asked." His voice was calm but sharp. "How long has she been working today?" Maria swallowed. "Since 6 this morning," she whispered. "It's almost 10 at night," Ethan said, checking his watch. "I volunteered to cover," she rushed out. "It was my choice. Please don't blame anyone else." "Escort her out," the manager ordered. Maria's heart pounded so hard she thought she might faint again. If she lost this job, she wouldn't make rent. Her son's asthma medication alone cost hundreds a month. "Please," she begged, her voice cracking. "My son needs this job more than I do." Ethan's fiancée scoffed. "This is manipulation." Maria flinched. Ethan held up a hand. Security stopped. "Everyone out," he said quietly. The manager blinked. "Sir?" "Now." Reluctantly, they filed out. His fiancée lingered. "Ethan, don't be ridiculous. This is a liability issue." "Please wait outside," he repeated. When the door shut, the penthouse felt unnaturally quiet. Maria stood frozen, clutching her cleaning cart like it was a shield. "I'm not a thief," she blurted out suddenly. "I didn't touch anything. You can check the cameras. I believe you," Ethan said. She stared at him, stunned. "You look like you haven't slept in a week," he continued. "Why?" She hesitated. "I can't fix what I don't understand." Something in his tone cracked the wall she had built around herself. "My son's been in and out of the hospital," she admitted softly. "Asthma. The insurance doesn't cover everything. I pick up extra shifts when I can." "And your supervisors?" he asked. "They say if we can't handle the workload, there are plenty of people who can." She let out a bitter laugh. "There's always someone more desperate." Ethan's jaw tightened. "Do you get overtime?" She looked away. "That's not a yes." "They adjust the clock sometimes," she whispered. He stared at her. "Adjust. If we clock out late, it gets rounded down." Her voice trembled. "They say it's policy." Silence stretched between them. Maria suddenly realized who he was. "You're Mr. Caldwell," she said quietly. "Yes." "The majority shareholder of the entire hotel chain." Her knees nearly buckled. "I swear I didn't know this was your suite. I would never—" "This isn't about the bed," he interrupted. She blinked again. "What if I told you," he said slowly, "that I've been investigating this hotel for months?" Her breath caught. "What if I told you I've suspected labor violations but couldn't get proof?" Maria's pulse pounded in her ears. I don't understand. You falling asleep in this room, he said, might be the first honest thing I've seen all year. Her mind spun. I'm going to be fired. Not tonight. Hope flickered, dangerous and fragile. I need you to come to my office tomorrow morning, he continued. 8 a.m. Don't tell anyone about this conversation. Her stomach dropped. Am I in trouble? That depends, he said carefully. Are you willing to tell the truth? She thought of her son's small inhaler, of rent overdue, of exhaustion that felt like it would swallow her whole. Yes, she whispered. He nodded once. Go home. Get some rest. Security escorted her out, not roughly but firmly. Employees stared as she passed. Whispers followed her down the service elevator. By midnight, rumors were already spreading. By morning, everything would explode. Maria stepped into the cold New York air, her hands still shaking. She had gone to work that morning, terrified of being invisible. She was about to become the center of something far bigger than she could imagine. And somewhere inside the penthouse suite, Ethan Caldwell stood alone, staring at the bed where a cleaner had fallen asleep. Not angry, but calculating, because what had just happened wasn't a scandal. It was an opportunity, and neither of them knew yet that the next 48 hours would change both their lives forever. Maria barely slept. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the manager's face twisting in anger. She had never stepped inside a building like this unless she was cleaning it. The receptionist eyed her uniform. Can I help you? I have an appointment with Mr. Caldwell. The receptionist's eyebrow lifted slightly. Name? Maria Rodriguez. A pause. Then the receptionist's expression changed. You can go up. 42nd floor. Her stomach flipped. The elevator ride felt endless. When the doors opened, she stepped into a sleek, silent office space with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. It felt like a different world from the crowded subway she had taken less than an hour ago. Ethan was standing near the window when she entered. He turned slowly. You came. I said I would. He studied her for a moment. She looked smaller here, more nervous. Sit, he said. She perched on the edge of the chair like she might need to run at any moment. I reviewed security footage from last night, he began. Her heart dropped. You worked 9 hours without a break. She looked down at her hands. Your time card shows you clocked out at 4:15 p.m. Her head snapped up. That's not right. I left at almost 9. I know. Silence filled the room. They've been altering hours for months, he said quietly. Across multiple properties. Maria swallowed. People complain sometimes, but they get written up after. For what? For attitude, for being slow, for insubordination. He nodded once as if confirming something he already suspected. What I need from you, he said carefully, is a statement. Honest. Detailed. Her breath hitched. If I do that, they'll destroy me. They already tried to. He replied evenly. She thought of the way the manager had looked at her, like she was disposable. You'll be protected, he said. You can't promise that, she shot back, fear breaking through. You don't know how they treat us. His jaw tightened slightly. You don't know how I treat executives who lie to me. Their eyes locked. For the first time, she saw something in him that wasn't just wealth or authority. It was anger, controlled, cold, focused. What happens if I say no? She asked quietly. He didn't hesitate. Then they fire you quietly, replace you tomorrow, and nothing changes. Her throat tightened. And if I say yes, everything changes. The weight of that hung heavy in the air. I don't want to be famous, she whispered. I just want to keep my job. He exhaled slowly. That may not be possible anymore. Her chest felt tight. You're already part of this, he continued. There were investors in that room last night. One of them recorded the incident. Her blood ran cold. Recorded? It's already circulating privately. Her hands began to shake. By tonight, it may be public. Her entire body went still. I didn't do anything wrong, she whispered. I know. But the internet won't care. He didn't disagree. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She pulled it out. 32 missed calls. 12 messages. 1 notification from a news app. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. Headline: Hotel cleaner found sleeping in Billionaire's penthouse suite. There was a blurry screenshot from the video. Her face, her uniform, her humiliation. Oh God, she breathed. Her phone rang again. It was the hotel manager. She let it go to voicemail. Another buzz. Suspended pending investigation. Her vision blurred. "They're moving fast," Ethan muttered. She looked at him, eyes wide with panic. "My son, I can't lose income." "You won't," he said firmly. "You can't promise that." "I can," he replied, voice sharp now, "because I own 51% of that company." She froze. "And I just called an emergency board meeting." Her breath caught. "What are you doing?" she asked. "What I should have done months ago." Her phone buzzed again. This time it wasn't the manager. It was a message from a coworker. "They're saying you broke into the suite. They're blaming you for security failure." Her stomach dropped to the floor. "That's not true," she said weakly. "I know," Ethan said. "But they need a scapegoat." Her voice cracked. "I have a son. They can't just—" "They can," he interrupted softly, "unless we stop them." The door to his office opened suddenly. A woman in a tailored suit stepped in. "Sir, the board is pushing back," she said quickly. "Legal is advising distance from the employee." Maria felt her world collapsing in real time. Distance from the employee. Like she wasn't even human. Ethan didn't look away from Maria when he spoke. "Schedule a press conference." The woman blinked. "Sir? You heard me." Maria's head snapped toward him. No press, please." "They've already made it public," he said. "If we stay silent, they control the narrative." Her breathing became shallow. "What narrative?" she whispered. "That you're reckless, unprofessional, possibly criminal." Her hands flew to her mouth. "I'm not." "I know you're not." "Then why does this feel like I'm the one on trial?" He didn't answer. Because she was. And she would be. By the media. By the board. By strangers online who had never cleaned a single room in their lives. Her phone buzzed again. This time it was an unknown number. She answered hesitantly. "Hello? Ms. Rodriguez?" a sharp voice asked. "This is legal representation for the Grand Regent Hotel chain. You are being notified of potential litigation regarding breach of employee conduct and damages." Her knees nearly gave out. "Litigation," she repeated faintly. Ethan's eyes hardened. The voice continued. "You may receive formal notice within 24 hours." The line went dead. Maria lowered the phone slowly. "They're suing me," she whispered. Ethan's jaw tightened visibly now. "They're trying to intimidate you." "I can't fight a corporation," she said, voice shaking. "I don't even have savings." He stepped closer. "You won't fight alone." Her eyes searched his face. "Why?" she asked. "Why are you doing this?" He hesitated just a fraction of a second. "Because last night I saw the cost of my silence." Her chest tightened. For the first time since the penthouse door had opened, she didn't feel completely alone. But outside that office, the story was spreading. The video had leaked publicly. Millions were watching, and the comments were ruthless. Lazy employee, entitled worker, gold digger stunt, or worse. By the end of the day, Maria Rodriguez wouldn't just be a hotel cleaner. She would be a national debate. And the lawsuit wasn't even the worst part yet. By nightfall, Maria's name was everywhere. The video had reached millions of views. Clipped, reposted, debated. News anchors dissected her facial expression like it was evidence of a crime. Was she pretending? Was this staged? Is this corporate sabotage? Maria sat on her couch, phone in hand, watching strangers decide who she was. Mateo walked in quietly. "Mama, are you on TV?" She swallowed hard. "Just adults arguing." "Did you do something bad?" Her heart cracked. "No, I was just tired." The next morning, the official lawsuit arrived. Grand Regent Hotels versus Maria Rodriguez. Allegations: breach of contract, reputational damage, security violation, damages sought, $250,000. She stared at the number until it blurred. "I don't even make $30,000 a year," she whispered. Her phone rang. "Ethan." "They filed faster than expected," he said. "They want to ruin me," she replied. "They want to scare you," he corrected. "Is there a difference?" "Yes, fear is temporary, ruin is permanent. And I'm not letting that happen." 2 days later, a press conference was announced. Reporters flooded the lobby of Caldwell Global. Maria almost didn't show up. "I don't belong there," she told Ethan over the phone. "You belong in the truth," he replied. She stood behind the curtain, heart racing as cameras flashed outside. "You don't have to speak," he said quietly. "I will." She looked at him. "If I stay silent, they win." He studied her for a moment. then speak." They walked out together. The room exploded with noise. "Mr. Caldwell, did she trespass? Is she being used as a pawn? Are you covering up corporate negligence?" Ethan stepped to the podium. "For months," he began calmly, "I've been investigating labor discrepancies within Grand Regent hotels. 2 nights ago, I witnessed something that confirmed my concerns." Murmurs filled the room. He continued, "Maria Rodriguez did not break into my suite. She did not steal. She did not trespass. She collapsed after working extended hours without proper breaks." A reporter shouted, "Are you accusing your own company of illegal conduct?" "Yes." The room froze. Maria felt the weight of that word land. "Yes," he repeated. "Time cards were altered. Overtime was suppressed. Employees were pressured into silence. Cameras turned toward Maria. 'Ms. Rodriguez,' someone called. 'Why didn't you report this earlier?' She stepped forward. 'Because I needed the job,' she said simply. Silence. 'I'm a single mother. My son has asthma. I chose survival over complaint.' A reporter asked sharply, 'Did you intentionally fall asleep to expose the company?' Her jaw tightened. 'I was exhausted. That's it.' Another voice yelled, 'Are you being paid by Mr. Caldwell?' 'No,' she said firmly. 'I'm being heard.' The press conference ended in chaos. Within hours, federal labor authorities announced an inquiry, but Grand Regent wasn't backing down. The lawsuit moved to court. The courtroom was packed. Executives sat on one side in tailored suits. Maria sat beside Ethan's legal team, hands clasped tightly. The hotel's attorney stood first. Ms. Rodriguez knowingly violated company policy by entering a restricted guest suite and utilizing private accommodations. Maria felt the words stab at her. Additionally, he continued, her public statements have caused measurable financial harm. Ethan's attorney rose calmly. "Your Honor, we request permission to present security footage and internal payroll audits." The judge nodded. The screen lit up. Footage showed Maria cleaning non-stop, room after room, no breaks. No lunch. Timestamp after timestamp. Then payroll records appeared. Clock-out times altered. Hours reduced. Bonuses withheld. A murmur spread through the courtroom. The hotel attorney tried to object. "Denied," the judge said firmly. Then Ethan took the stand. "Why are you testifying against your own company?" the opposing attorney asked. "Because leadership means accountability," Ethan replied. "You're risking shareholder value. I'm protecting human value." The attorney smirked. "Or protecting your public image." Ethan didn't blink. "If I cared about image, I would have fired her quietly." Then Maria was called. She walked to the stand, legs trembling. "Ms. Rodriguez," the attorney began, "did you lie down in Mr. Caldwell's bed?" "Yes." "Did you fall asleep?" "Yes." "So you admit misconduct." She inhaled slowly. "I admit I was exhausted." A few people shifted uncomfortably. "Did anyone force you to work overtime?" "They forced us to choose," she replied. "Choose what?" "Overtime without pay. Or replacement." The courtroom went still. "Do you have proof?" She looked toward the screen where the altered records still glowed. "Yes." 3 days later, the ruling came. The lawsuit was dismissed. Federal investigators filed charges against multiple executives. Stock prices dipped sharply. Resignations followed. Grand Regent hotels announced immediate labor reforms across all properties. Back in the Bronx, Maria sat at her kitchen table when Ethan called. "It's over," he said. She exhaled like she had been holding her breath for weeks. "They dropped it. They lost." She covered her mouth, tears spilling freely now. "I was so scared," she admitted. "I know. What happens now?" "There's a position open in corporate compliance," he said. "Worker Advocacy Division. I think you'd be perfect." She laughed softly through tears. "You're serious? You already exposed the truth. Now you can protect it." 6 months later, Maria walked into a luxury ballroom, not in a cleaning uniform, in a navy suit. A microphone waited on stage. Hospitality leaders filled the room. She took a steady breath and stepped forward. "I never meant to become a headline," she began. "I just needed rest." Soft laughter rippled through the crowd. But sometimes the moment you feel weakest is the moment everything changes. Applause grew louder. In the back of the room, Ethan watched quietly. After the speech, Maria stepped outside onto the terrace, looking at the city lights. Her phone buzzed. "Mateo." "Mama, my teacher said you're famous." She smiled. Not famous, just brave. Are you still cleaning rooms? No, she said gently. Now I make sure cleaners get treated right. He paused. I'm proud of you. Her eyes filled again. Thank you, baby. That night, as she passed a luxury hotel entrance, she stopped for a moment. 6 months ago, she had walked into a building like that, terrified of being invisible. Now she walked with her head high. She had fallen asleep in a billionaire's bed and woken up in her own power. If this story moved you, if you believe courage can come from the most unexpected moments, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss stories like this. Like this video to support powerful storytelling and drop a comment below. Do you think she was brave or just desperate? Because sometimes the line between the two is where change begins. And sometimes all it takes to shake a billion-dollar empire is one exhausted woman who finally stops pretending she isn't tired.